Greetings, folks. Chris Courtney here. You are Alpha Tracking with me, and today we're going to go through a bevy of stocks because CNBC had this really interesting, lively discussion around halo stocks and things that just really are made for the moment. And it was led off by Jenny Harrington. And then Josh Brown came in with his picks, and then Joe Terranova really came across at the very end with a pick that I think, if we really look at the charts and break it down, it might be something that rises to the top of the really 10, 11 stocks we're going to look at today. S&P today, as you can see, following that trend line, if we're going back to the dreaded Liberation Day, it's a graceful arc, but man, the lid is on it at 7,000. We're just not able to get past this point, and we're just kind of washing around in here. And that is why we're seeking individual trades to get a little alpha out of this moment when there's just nothing happening in the market. So to get started, let's take a look at our first stock. First stock today is going to be Bristol Myers. This was a Jenny Harrington special, and the thing that's interesting about Bristol Myers is, man, it has gone parabolic since basically October. It's just straight on up, just a severe move. But what you can also see here is that it's starting to consolidate a little bit. It's still above the 50, 100, and 200, but it's starting to consolidate a little bit. And my worry here is that if you go back to last March, April, basically Liberation Day kind of kicked this thing off, and then it just stayed down the rest of the year. Is Bristol Myers going to actually get above this moment and kind of reach back for those all-time highs, or are we gonna get stuck down in here and this becomes like a new trading channel? So I wasn't crazy to see Bristol Myers on the list. Dominion Energy is another one. Again, if you look at this, you can look at the highs going back into last year. It kind of chopped around here, and then now it's just like gone parabolic. Very big move to the upside. It has come back down in the last couple of days, which makes me a little more interested in it. But obviously the 50 is still underneath the 100 day, and I'm not quite ready to get into this one yet either. It's just so far above the 50 day that it gives me a little bit of pause. But as you can see, if you're going back to going back to 23, this isn't a nice trend. It's just so far above the trend that I really kind of wanted to come back down and see if I can use this what was previously resistance all through 2025. Can I use that and get support and bounce off of that? So I'll keep an eye on Dominion, but let's go ahead and take a look at AMCR. AMCR, I believe, I don't know a lot about this company. I think they make like plastic cups and straws and things like that. If you look at this chart, this is an ugly chart, like just down, lower high, lower low. The question I've got here is, this was a stock picked by Jenny. It's been parabolic recently, but is this a lower high? And looking at it at the moment, it looks like it's trying to maybe consolidate around that, kind of using that prior resistance as support, but it very easily could break back down. And I don't know enough about this stock to trust the technicals on it. It could be okay, or it might not be. But the recent parabolic move I'm looking at, like, I am staring right now. I am just staring at this gap, and I'm like, and for me, I'm wondering, like, if the 50-day comes up and this thing comes down and manages to fill that gap right at the 50-day, that would be a very interesting entry for me. But right now, it's just so far ahead of itself. I feel like it's ahead of itself. Kimberly-Clark, this is one that I'm in. I was buying it as a value play here. This is when they announced the potential merger with Kenvue, and it just dropped right on down. I picked some up right around the hundreds, and it basically was there from November to now. And now it's starting to finally break out. You can see that 50-day just beginning to curl. I do like this stock mainly because it is a It is a staples company that doesn't have any food. So if you think about companies that like Kraft Heinz and whatnot, those are all under the gun of the GLP-1s. I like Kimberly-Clark because it's toilet paper. You're still going to wipe your ass regardless of whether you're on Ozempic or not. Or I don't know if it's Ozempic. Is it Zepbound? I think is one of the GLP-1s. But regardless of that, the one thing I'm worried about right now is you have this prior local high back in November, December, and then it went back down. Is this going to become another channel, kind of like this Bristol Myers where we looked at it a moment ago? Does this become another channel, or do we break out above this? Above this, I begin looking at this 200-day, and then the cross. If this keeps moving up, the 50 will cross the 200-day. When does that happen? But I've got to get out of this channel first before I can get behind another buy. I'm still holding it. I'm just not adding to it right now. Let's hop on down to EPD. EPD, Enterprise Product Partners. This is one that was on Jenny's list. I know nothing about the company, but I do know that the thing has gone parabolic. It's just straight up. It's so far removed from the 50-day. 50 days at like 33. This thing's up here at 36, 37. I just, I can't. Well, hello. guess I just reset everything. Let's take this back down to EPD. Hope I kept all my trend lines. It did. But as we zoom out, the one thing I do like about it long term, boy, look at that nice trend line going all the way back to 2021. This thing just does not violate that trend line. So if this were to come back down, be very interested in it. It's just so far ahead of itself, I just can't get in it right now. So then Josh had another number of his picks. So we've gone through Jenny's picks. Let's go through Josh's picks really fast. Josh, this is letter O, Realty Income, parabolic. It's too hot. Let's go through, let's see here, IRM, I think it's Iron Mountain. Iron Mountain, again, looks the same. Would be interested, it looks like it's trying to come back down. I would be interested to see if it either holds this or comes back down and fills that gap. If it were to fill that gap, I can see the 50-day turning here. Would be kind of I'm getting more interested in it down here, but from up here, I would have to, from up here, it's like at 106, I would set a 10% window on it, so that would bring back to 96. My stop would be so close to this gap, I would much rather buy in down here. So I'm not interested in buying an Iron Mountain yet. Let's see here. Let's look at Prologis. PLD is that? Yeah, Prologis. Prologis got one of these warehouses near my house. This is the Amazon company. They build on all the warehouses. Prologis is interesting. It's not super parabolic. It actually looks like it's come back in a little bit. I would like to see some consolidation here. It's still pretty far removed from its 50-day. And if we zoom back out, you can see we've got to go quite a ways back to get back to that all-time high. Looks like back in 2022 before everything, and it's basically been sideways since. So I'm interested in this. It's had a nice uptrend through 2025. Again, Liberation Day ruined everything for everybody. But as far as right now, I would really like to see this come back in, maybe test this local high here from January, see if that could become some support, and then bounce back from there, just a little extended from where it's at right now. And then we've got SPG, Simon Property Group. Same thing. All of these trades appear to be coming back in a little bit, which is I think a better setup for us. But with SPG, I kind of want to see if it's going to. This is, I think, is 2025, right before again the dreaded Liberation Day. I want to see if it holds above that, or really kind of above this 188. 188 is interesting to me because it's also right around the 50-day. I would love to hold support there, and I should really just kind of move that line down. This is what I'm looking for. Can I hold support above 188 while the 50-day and get closer to it? If I could get in there, that would be a much better entry for me. And again, this is just what I'm doing, not financial advice. But all of these moves that they were looking at just felt really extended, which brought me to Joe Terranova's pick. And he just kind of threw this out of the blue. He said Welltower. He's been in Welltower forever. And sure enough, Welltower is definitely also it shooting star pattern. It like really has ramped up recently. This is senior housing. The thing I like about Welltower is it's private pay. It's not based on the government, although they are, if there was a big cut in Medicare, they could be secondarily impacted, but most of their units that they have for senior housing are private pay, so they're getting paid by individuals that have the cash. They're not reliant on the government as much. So with this, we've got a REIT focused on senior housing. I know AI is not gonna, if AI eliminates old people, then we've got very different problems. But for right now, I'm looking at Welltower, and it's got this gap up, and I'm a little, I would really love to fill this gap up, but I'm also seeing this as a really trusty, reliable stock. And let me show you why. If I zoom back out, I don't even need to draw a line for this. Just look at the 200-day going all the way back to 2023. It's only touched it once. So in my estimation, if I was going to play this, what I love about today is it's already come down. It's at 210. That's already come down off of that high of 215. That's great. I would love for it to come all the way back to 200. At 200, I would very easily buy into this thing. However, it's not there, but this is the one that I'm going to look at most because it's just got the best chart of the whole bunch. It's not, yes, it's had a couple of these ramp ups, but it just has not violated that 200 for so long. It's really a nice looking chart. Now, what I would do is if you were to buy in 200 or 210, or excuse me, I buy in 210, I would set my stop at 190. I would set my stop basically at the 50-day right now. And, my hope would be that I get another chance to add to the position at 200, and this would then take back off because, again, I'm focusing on that gap fill. But let me know what you think. Which of the, we ran through 11 stocks really fast. They've all got this parabolic shoot to them. They all are in that halo category. Joe Terranova, I think, wins this one. Josh Brown and Jenny had their picks. I love Jenny Harrington. She's made me lots of money over the years. But I would love to know, what is your pick that you're interested in? And by the way, did you know that we're tracking all of these picks? Got a spreadsheet. Link is down in the comments. Be sure to check that out so that you can check in on how these stocks are doing every day. That spreadsheet is connected through Google Finance, so you'll notice that it's updating as the day goes through. One last thing. Every morning these videos drop at 8 a.m. Eastern, right before market open. So if you'd like to be one of the first to get the insights that I've got, be sure to like and subscribe. I'm Chris Courtney for AlphaTracking. Thanks for watching.